I work at the Gucci store. Y'all walk in. Y'all both see a bag that y'all like, right? You come to the cashier. You come to me, and I say the bag is $1,500 for you, and it's $3,500 for you. How you feel?
But that's not real.
Just tell me how you feel. Just tell me.
Well, I'd be like, why are you discriminating?
Yeah. Like, what's the difference?
So when y'all give up the box on the first night, but it's another dude that gotta wait 4 or 5 dates, why are you discriminating?
Girls that get flown out and have endless designer, but don't have more than $1,000 saved in their bank account.
There's girls getting flown out, and they gotta do stuff for their flight.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah,
So,
that Dubai princess.
That's what I'm saying. You can be average Joe, average girl. Shit,
Yeah,
I just heard about an average trip to Atlantic City. Sound more romantic than something I would on.
I've had a $20,000 trip to Bahamas and gave up no coochie. Like,
I went on a $30,000 shopping spree.
You can spend $20,000 on me and still get no coochie. Like, it's.
So wait, y'all don't believe if you get flued out, you don't believe you have a responsibility to give up the box?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
What do you
not.
mean?
I am so
I am
stingy
not
with
giving
the cat.
you.
It's terrible.
So stingy. So stingy.
So you finessing. So you prove my point. You're finessing these guys.
Nah, I feel like
when a
that's
guy
not a
leaves
finesse.
with
Every
his
man
wallet,
that has
he
flown
loses.
me out
If
known
he
that
leave-
he might not get coochie. Every single man that has
He's
flown
a
me
loser.
out.
That's why.
No,
That's
he's
what I'm
not.
saying.
That's
A
not
man.
true.
Let me tell you something.
You can fly me out from the beginning. You always gonna know that I'm not giving you coochie until it's like at least 3 months in. We've hung out at least 30 times.
Watch this.
I make every man wait no matter what.
Watch this. I work at the Gucci store. Y'all come into the Gucci store.
I've seen you before.
No, I don't actually.
I'm about to say. I'm
I
said it. He look familiar, but all right, hypothetically.
All right, this is a scenario.
All
This
right,
is a scenario.
hypothetically, of course.
I work at the Gucci store. Y'all walk in. Y'all both see a bag that y'all like, right? You come to the cashier. You come to me, and I say the bag is $1,500 for you, and it's $3,500 for you. How you feel?
But that's not real.
Just tell me how you feel. Just tell me.
Well, I'd be like, why are you discriminating?
Yeah. Like, what's the difference?
So when y'all give up the box on the first night, but it's another dude that gotta wait 4 or 5 dates, why are you discriminating?
But I'm not discriminating because I don't give no box to no man on the first night.
Has there ever been a situation where you made one man wait longer than another man? That's called discrimination. And that's what men see.
Well, one man might be making me feel the vibe way more than the other man. Like,
it's never been about.
But that's the difference. Is like, okay, so when you hear discrimination, it makes y'all feel a certain type of way. It makes you feel a certain type of way. You had to pay $3,500 for the same bag as her, even though I don't even tell you why I'm making you pay that amount, right? As a man, if he feels like she's making me go through all these hoops and bounds to get the same box that some other guy got on the first night or got on the first date or whatever, why would he ever invest in a situation?
I guess that would be a turn off to me, because why you worrying about a hoop that somebody else shot through if you still gonna try to shoot your shot anyway?
Well, he'll realize that he's just gonna be transactional with you. He realized that at a certain point he may wait it out long enough, and then
Not
when he
even that
finally
would be
beats,
transactional. See, like that's the thing. So all right, with the little clown corny guy that I was just talking to, he mentioned things like, some things just happen naturally, some things happen naturally, and I'm like, you're absolutely right, they happen naturally. But those things that happen naturally, you don't really mention them. And none of my best relationships that I have, did we ever have to mention, oh, are you gonna let me have sex, or are you gonna give me some coochie? We never had to have that talk. So if I have to have that talk with you, I'm turned off. I'm like, oh, you never get in the box now. Like, how can I give it to you now? We had this uncomfortable conversation about it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a vibe. It's not for me.
I will say.
Yeah, it's not me trying to make you wait, or it's a standard, or you gotta wait. It's not like that. It depends on the guy. Like, can you finesse me out my drawers? Because if you can't, that's on you. That's not me. I know how to not be finessed, so I don't know.
And men know, because men fly out girls that they know are going to give it up the minute they land, and men fly out girls that they know that even if they fly them out, they might not get no coochie. Like, some men only fly out the girls that they know is going to give them coochie, and that's their choice. But I'm telling you, every man that's flown me out has known he wasn't getting coochie just because he flew me out.
So he just flew out for a conversation. He just.
Because he genuinely want to be around
my thing
me.
is,
That sounds like a square to me.
that's not a
That's
square.
not a square.
If,
Why
if,
are you a square? Because you really like me and you have enough money to fly me
as
out.
a
Because
man-
he really wants this thing.
What type of
Is
woman
he
would I be if I give you pussy just because you flew me out?
No, it's not about you. It's about him. What I'm saying is, if he knows he really wants something, and he may be trying to play the long game with you to get it. So he may just try to go along and fake it like I'm not like those other guys.
But those
to
are
try
guys that want to play games. That's what I'm
Right,
saying. I'm
because-
getting flued out by guys that want to be with me. So like,
All right, that's the delusion is to date where you are mentally. You know what I mean? If you want to fly out girls because you think that you're gonna fly out those, like she said, fly out those girls.
before you fly me out,
Before
I'm
you-
gonna know if you're somebody that's ready to be in a relationship. Like, I have guys that want to fly me out tomorrow. I'm not gonna go because I know that they just want to have fun and play games and have like
You gotta
meaningless
know who
sex.
So
you're
there,
dealing
so
with.
there are situations where you know the guy is gonna try to press you for it, and you
I
won't
won't go.
entertain that.
Yeah, I
But
won't go.
then, so why entertain it at all?
Because sometimes some people are shallow and like some I feel like in the first 3 months, especially with guys especially, you don't really get to know who they are until you spend time with them.
No.
So sometimes being flown out, I gotta spend this. If I'm going to see what it's going to be, I gotta spend this time with
You
you.
don't know somebody until
yeah,
they mad,
women
sad,
tell-
broke. You know.
Yeah. So you get to know them. All right. You fly out that girl and you thought she was going to give you something and she not, and you discover that's getting to know someone. I feel like people be getting mad because they not getting what they want from people, and that's a personal thing. That's not my fault that you can't acquire my panties. I don't.
I do have one situation where a guy flew me out and like he should have known he wasn't getting any coochie, but he didn't get any and he was kind of upset about it. And then you know, it actually like ended. He was upset about it in the beginning, but then further along the line, it made him actually want me even more because he's like, "Oh damn, like no girl has ever made me wait because I flew her out. I usually get coochie right away. Like the fact that you made me wait is so special." And they thought I was like such a unicorn because I made them
Oh my
fucking wait.
gosh. That sounds terrible.
And that's
That
because
sounds
bitches give up
terrible.
coochie for flights. Y'all bitches be fucking the game
They,
up for
they
the
do a
real
lot of
bitches like
strange
me.
things for things I'm
That's
not
what-
willing to do.
That's what I'm saying. Like bitches be fucking up the game for girls like us, cause I don't care.
So you
what
realize that the girls fuck up the game for y'all?
Yeah,
You
for
reali-
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely aware
It
that
ain't
there
me.
is.
Look, it
I
ain't
think
me.
there's a lot of girls that are wrongly influenced by social media, female rappers, what they see on the internet, and they think it's okay to only date for money, and they have the dating game fucked up, and they give coochie up for a bag, for a
It's
flight.
like some girls don't know
for a
their value.
trip.
They really don't know what they're worth, and they feel like all their worth is their panties. And so when they give that up, or when they perform that act with these people, that may make them feel valuable. You never know. People different.
Whose job is it to lock in the person after sex though?
It's both. It's an equal commitment.
That's
It
the
takes two to
problem.
tango.
You should be locked in before
Before
you
you
have
do-
sex.
yes.
Well, here's the other problem. If I say, "What's your role on the first date?" What you gonna say?
What's my role on the first date? To
What do you
show
mean?
up.
So how you locking a man before you have sex then?
You show consistency.
You
You,
wait.
show interest.
You
You,
build a
show
relationship
certain
and a friendship.
affections.
When the
You
men
talk
say
about
that isn't
things.
enough. See, here's what happens, right?
See, I don't date those
Yeah, I
men.
don't-
And
Watch.
then and there's lots of men that have been like, "Oh, I won't date a girl that doesn't give it up," and then they meet me and they're like, "Fuck, I don't have a choice. Like, I just got to do that shit." And then if you don't want to do it, you don't do it. You just leave it. Move
Like
on
I
to the
said,
next
I don't
person.
even have the conversation.
But
so.
like,
Or
that's-
maybe not for y'all, but maybe for your friends, family, whatever. What happens a lot of time is like women will say, "Oh, he changed up after we had sex." No, you just didn't lock him in, because the woman's job is to retain the man after sex. The man's job is to attain the woman before sex.
I think
That's
that's
the
where
difference.
she fucked up. She should have made sure that he was attained before she had sex with him.
And
There
when
should
I
have been
say,
something
"What's
more
your
there.
role on the first date?" You feel what I'm saying? It's like we don't start from the beginning. If a man comes and starts from the beginning, he takes you out on the first date and it's a nice date. He buy you flowers, he pick you up, send the Uber, all this stuff. He's starting from the beginning, but you start from when you like him. So then there's a disconnect between why it doesn't last. You see what I'm saying?
I wouldn't go on the date if I didn't
wouldn't,
like you.
yeah.
Not
It's
that
it's
if you
all in
wouldn't
your
like
pursuit.
it.
I get what you're saying, because I did have a guy who said that he was like that men take all the risk, and I was like, what do you mean men take all the risk? He was like, we gotta pay for the date. Da, 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 da. I said, yeah, and women take the emotional risk. I said, with y'all losing money, we can't get back in emotions and we can't get back in time, but you can always go make your money back.
Well, men take an emotional risk too. When I said 50% of men stop approaching women, part of that is emotional risk. Like they just like, yo, I'm tired of the rejection. I'm tired of this shit not going anywhere. Like I'm tired of having to put the effort in to figure out what to say. Like y'all can sit and be in the club, and a guy has to think of something clever to say to get your attention. Like he can't just say, hey, that's not enough. Like he has to think of something clever. Then he comes up with it. You may reject them. You may give them your Instagram instead of your phone number. Like it doesn't go anywhere, and then you
And
rinse,
you know
wash,
what?
repeat.
For them girls in the club, that hey might have worked for me. Cause I'd have been like, he'd be like, hey, I'm like, oh hey, like you gotta stay. You gotta just sometimes you gotta roll with it. That's not women's fault that you emotionally messed up because you ain't got no game. Like that's
that
not my
percentage
fault.
of men that aren't approaching women anymore, like you
They don't
just
have no
had bad
game.
luck. You've had some bad
They don't have
some
no
bad
confidence.
apples. I've had some bad apples too, and that's why I'm single and not looking for anyone right now. But I don't plan on being single for the rest of my life. I'm still open to options, but you know,
Well, y'all got a lot more options than like men. Though. That's the thing. Is
Well,
like
I
the
think
world
it's
is.
slim pickings.
you would think, you would think,
You have options, just not options that you would choose.
yes.
But you have some, considerably more than a man. Like
The lady said, I'm gonna tell you what the lady said.
I do
I
agree
forgot
that I
her
think
name.
there's more. I think there's more good men. Like I think we have a scarcity of good men, but
do
we
have a
have a
scarcity.
scarcity of good women as well. Like y'all think y'all have it bad? It's bad
men
for
don't really
everybody.
ask for much. That's why when we don't get the things we want, it's such a big deal. All a man wants is sex, sandwich, and silence. That's really it. If you break it down at the bare level,
If that's
Yeah,
all
and I
y'all
have
want,
no
then y'all
problem
shouldn't be
doing that
cheating.
though. I have no
because
problem
you
doing.
can't get all three at the same time.
Well,
That's not true. You can get that from me if you loyal, you give him, you providing, and you a good man.
Like as combative as I am now and turned up, I'm not like this when I'm in a relationship. So
I'm
you
not-
want-
I'm
you
not
want-
per- it's not
I'm
personal.
just- I'm-
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not personal. I'm saying though, like for all that I am now, like if I'm be all loud and boisterous and ghetto, I'm not like that one man. Like you want silent sex and sandwich, cool. I'm be in the room over here, we'll be quiet. But even doing that is not going to keep him from stepping out. He gonna go with the exciting bitch.
That is true. You
He gonna
can
go
be.
with the turn up girl. Like I'd have been quiet. I ain't said nothing to the man all day. He gonna be like, babe, I'm gonna call you back. I'm going to 7-Eleven. And he going down the street to go see the girl.
It's hard though because this thing when y'all turn 18, y'all are at prime time. Like your value is just earned at the beginning, and you just have to preserve it. A man has to earn his value. So by the time you turn 18 as a man, don't nobody want your ass. You got to make yourself into something that girls want to have sex with. And then by the time you do that, by the time you get your money up, by the time you learn how to dress, by the time you get your body in shape, by the time you learn how to talk to women and how to be attractive and arouse them and seduce them, by the time you figure all these things out, yeah, it may take 5-10 years. Why would I like what makes me want to do all that work and then be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just stay faithful. Like what it like that's what I'm saying. Unless a woman's doing something on her end to make you believe that I don't want to fuck up this situation because she's so great.
So I got a question for
I've
you.
had
then.
that. I've been that, and the guy still fucked it up.
But the thing is, what y'all perceive as a good woman is not what the men are saying. Y'all think a good woman are certain things, and the men are saying like, "Yo, I want my back rubbed. I want nurturing. I want feminine.
I
I
don't
want
hear that problem.
friendly. I
have
want
I do all that.
not you, but
But
like
most girls don't do
Most
that.
girls,
It's
yeah.
true. It's a problem.
It's the man. I feel it's
We
the
definitely-
man.
it's just the man. It's
It's
just
the
the,
man.
I think it's
it's
everything.
just
Like the root of
It's the man. If you say you did all this and it's the man. If she don't like you, stink it's you. I'm sorry.
I'm saying with the women are not like today's women. There's no like role model for feminine women. The only role models we see are the Meg Thee Stallions, the Sexy Reds, the Cardi B's, all the Nicki Minaj.
That's all in perspective. And
What's the role model for feminine women right now?
I don't know who the role model for feminine women in the majority is, but the women I look up to, these nice regal women, Michelle Obama. I like Kim Kardashian. She's a billionaire, very, very successful. Beyonce is very regal. She's married, settled down. Like, you know
So
what I'm
Michelle
saying?
Obama says she hated Barack for 10 years. She hated him
Yeah.
and stuck through it. These
stuck
women, they
through
not
it.
doing that today.
Right, but
no, that is
it's a
a
different-
huge issue.
They
But I
not
don't think
doing
it's
that.
just
You know
a
what
women
I
and
said?
men
I said
thing.
that on a date. The date with that man, I just ain't like. I said that on a date with him. I said, you know, dating today is not like how it was back in the day. You can
It's-
meet somebody in the first 6 minutes, y'all together for 16 years, they together, they locked in. You meet somebody now, you barely get 6 weeks out of these people. So the same risk that y'all taking is like, all right, you want somebody to give up the panties because you just flew out. 3 weeks from now, I might not be talking to you, and I done wasted a pair of panties on you. Like, I'm not doing that.
I don't think it's men or women that are necessarily the problem. I think it's just like how we've evolved is in life. We have technology now. Like back in the day, if you wanted to meet a girl, you had to go to her house, knock on her door, write her a letter.
If you
You
wanna
couldn't just text her and automatically hear back from her.
If you want to talk to a girl back then, you had to wait. That's
Yeah, you literally had to like write somebody a letter and wait for them to write you back,
But
or
you
physically go to
also-
their house. Now you can have a whole relationship from the palm of your hand on your phone.
Men don't have a problem with waiting. They don't want to wait for something that ain't worth it. Back in the day, you knew that she wasn't the town whore. Right now, a lot of these girls that you're looking at, like the girls that you parade around, the Lori Harveys or whatever, like a lot of guys are talking to these girls, and you don't know that you're getting something that's of value, because what men value is fertility, purity, youthfulness, beauty. So if a lot of men have already been with you, how does that mean that your value is still like worth it? That's what I'm saying. It's like,
So because her body count is high, her value is just a straight person goes down as well
for a relationship.
for a relationship.
I honestly,
We look at-
I
So-
honestly have a huge issue with the
so-
way that people have sex in America because I'm foreign. I think that women shouldn't have ridiculously high body counts, but I do also agree that we need to have the freedom to have sex without judgment whenever we want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
But
think
like,
it's just an
I
American
think
thing.
I think as a woman, you should be able to sleep with a guy the first night if you want to, or make him wait 3 months if you want to. I think you should be able to have sex with whoever the fuck you want, but sleeping around and having sex with like more than 2 or 3 people at a time within like a month span, a week span, all that shit is dirty. Like, y'all gotta have respect for yourselves. It's okay to have sex freely, but we shouldn't. For men and women, it's not right to be sleeping around with multiple people at a time.
Well, typically, like, the difference is with the men that have sex with a lot of women, a man has sex with a lot of women because of the value he's contributed to society. You have to be a man and have value, you have to have done something that provides value to society in order to gain money. So when you go and you acquire money, it's because you either started a company or you did something that proves your value to society. And then the women are a byproduct of that. When a woman has sex with a lot of men, she just has sex with a lot of men because it's just like degenerate behavior. That's the difference. It's like, like as a man, it takes skill to get women. As a woman, it doesn't take skill to have sex with men. Any man would just have sex with y'all on the street.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, coochie is everywhere, Bridget not. That's the truth.
So you understand the difference
I
in
totally get
Okay.
that.
But
Yeah.
I still don't think men should
I don't
sleep
think that it's
around.
okay,
And something I've also
but-
noticed, just dating men with money, that not all men are like
Yeah.
with money are like hornballs for women and have sex all the time. But like I have noticed that the majority of men with lots of money who recently acquired their money and constantly sleep around and are like horrid cheaters or have multiple bitches are the ones that didn't really get a lot of pussy growing up. Like it'd be the ones that was always getting girls that
It'd be the late bloomers.
that'd be the laid
But
back
most-
and they don't
Most
care.
Most men
for
don't
hair.
get pussy. This is the thing y'all don't get, right? Okay, what percentage of men do you think are sexless or virgins in the last year?
I know it's a big number,
Just give me a percentage.
I haven't read that statistic, so I wouldn't be
like
informed.
35,
But
40.
My homeboy.
33.
33.
Yeah.
So you put 3 men in the room. One of them is either a virgin or hasn't had sex in the last year. So you got to think about, okay, if I do make myself into something, now I might go crazy because because I'm a virgin. I haven't been able to get it. All the women that I'm coming across, they want a man that's making a certain amount of money, a certain height. They have all these requirements. Now that I finally make myself into something that they admire, you just crash out.
I
mean,
also
same
find
thing
that so
for
hard to
women.
believe because
Like,
I know so many
go both
girls
ways
that
in
just
different
give it up
aspects.
because you have a fucking chain on, like.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you
so
got
to
But
get,
those girls are stupid.
You got some girls who don't even feel sexy until they acquire age, or you get a certain age and they develop and get, you know what I mean? Some women don't even know how. It goes the same way. Both
y'all
ways.
get what y'all want. That's what I'm saying. Women have sex with who they want. Men have sex with who they can. It's different. It's not the same
And I
game.
find that so hard to agree with because
I do
there's
too.
girls who literally give it up for a buck. Like,
Like you can
They
go
give it
down
up to
the
a small
mini bar
percentage of
and
guys,
procure
though.
procure a piece of paint.
I
You're
feel
not
like
giving up
there's
to
a
the man to
high
work at
amount of-
Starbucks.
I feel like there's a high amount of women that are very easy, and there's not a high amount of women that aren't easy. I think a lot of women are easy as fuck these
Women are
days.
easy for the top 20% of guys. What they found, and we'll take a break right after this. I just want to say this. What they found is from Tinder statistics, right? Because that's the only data we have. The top 78% of women compete for the top 20% of men. The bottom 80% of men compete for the bottom 22% of women. 80% of men are competing for the bottom barrel women. That's
Yeah,
what they
so that's
they
what I'm saying. It go the
competing for
same.
bottom barrel, and then y'all are competing for the guys at the top. But men are just competing for the bottom of the barrel. That's different. So y'all only see the guys that's already here. You're only looking at the guy that's already has his stuff together. You're not looking at the dude that you got to build up. You're not looking at the guy that he got potential, but maybe he don't know how to talk, or maybe he don't have game, or maybe he's not attractive like that. You're not looking at him and saying, well, I'm gonna make him into something and then I'm gonna give him sex crazy. That's
Yeah, but
not your
then
mindset.
It's not the mindset because
Who goes
not
into
for
it
me
like
particularly,
that?
but you have women who have built men, and as soon as they
Ah,
become something,
yeah.
they leave those women too.
I did that.
The dynamics are all different. Like I don't think it's one size fit all type thing. You gotta find your niche, find what works for you and that person, and you gonna have to. I don't want to settle, so they gonna have to settle on the things that they don't want in their relationships.
Yeah, it might sound crazy, but the guy that I dated that had no money and then became rich, he was overweight, he was balding. We were the same age, and none of my girlfriends, they were all like, "Why do you date him? He's ugly as shit." Like, it was never about the money. It was never about what you look like. Everything's situational at the end of the day.
Yeah,
And people find that hard to believe, but yes, I dated a fat guy who was balding, and I loved him with all my heart. So, like,
because it's not the money. It's
and
the
he didn't have
person.
money when I met him, and he became rich, and the money actually corrupted him, and that's probably why we didn't work out. But because once he started getting money, he started having access to women he did not have access to before.
That's my point.
So,
So,
but you know,
like I
like
said,
every
the
situation is
dynamic
situational. You might be blessed with the woman who's willing to deal with you and grow with you. I think that one of the big issues we have in our generation and in America is that it's so easy to find a new partner and move on to the next person. So as soon as something is bad, we just end it. But if you ask couples that are like, if you ask your grandparents, people that are like been married for 50, 60 years, they will all tell you there was some sort of infidelity at some point in their relationship and they overcame it. Our biggest issue is that as soon as something goes wrong, as soon as you're cheated on, lied to, you go through a phone, you just want to leave and break up with that person, and then there's no forgiving them, and then you do try to stay together, but you just don't ever let it go. What people don't realize is that there's no perfect person. The person that you love, you're going to forgive and grow with because you're
You gotta
both
find
growing
the,
in
the
life.
person you willing to take this stuff. Like
Yeah,
everything
like-
is a little give and take. Everybody gonna give you some shit. Everybody gonna take some shit.
The
You
perfect
just gotta
unicorn does not
figure out-
exist. So the person that you love
I
isn't
do
going to be
exist.
perfect. The person that you're meant to spend the rest of your life with isn't going to be perfect, but you love them so much that you're willing to sacrifice and grow with. And there's no marriage or long-term relationship that has made it through with absolutely no tears, no pain, and no hurt. Like, marriage is not an easy thing. Marriage consists of a lot of sacrifice. And I actually believe that love is sacrifice. Like, at the end of the day, the biggest thing to making a marriage and last love work is sacrifice. That's why in America we have a big issue because we are all for ourselves. Nobody wants to sacrifice to be with someone else. When I can just leave you and automatically have somebody else right on my phone go meet them. That's what our biggest issue is. Our biggest downfall is the technology and the ability to just, have access to people right away. I think it hinders us. It's fucked up our dating lives, our love, our marriage, everything. But I don't think it's necessarily like a man or a woman thing. I think technology and just, living on this earth has corrupted us.
It's well said. Love isn't about what you can give, it's about what you can take.